Busting through our borders, bringing you what's ignored, sensationalized, misleading, or just plain false. Here's your media malfeasance for the week. Open border advocates are singing a different tune as hoity-toity neighborhoods are thrust into getting just a taste of what it's like in McAllen, Texas. On Meet the Press this week, here's how Kamala Harris responds when confronted about the border.
We're going to have 2 million people cross this border for the first time ever. You're confident this border is secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
Our border is secure. Here's how an illegal immigrant responds.
And Vice President Harris said that the border is closed. Is the border closed? Do you believe that the border is closed, or is it open?
It's open, not closed. The border is open.
The border is open. Do you believe that all the migrants believe that the border is open?
Yeah, everybody believes that the border is open. It's open because we enter, we come in, free.
He was one of many bussed to Kamala Harris's home from the border.
La Presidenta Harris dice que frontera cerrado. La frontera es cerrado or abierto?
Abierto.
Abierto. So what she's saying, Steve, I asked her, Vice President Harris says that the border is closed. She says it's open as we see these migrants coming across now.
Look at my bus! Oh my God, I love it!
I wonder how secure Harris feels the border is now.
I'm on the opposite side of the border right now, the Mexican side. And this is how you walk straight into the United States illegally. There's the same sign that says do not trespass. They're literally walking on it into the USA. There's the massive line, and they're being transported on buses.
It's a Fox News alert. Remember when Greg Abbott said in Texas that if the federal government is going to drop migrants off in Texas, we will provide them free bus rides to our nation's capital? That is a bus with 2 or 3 dozen migrants on board. We believe
it just rolled into Washington.
It just rolled into Washington. I think they initially wanted to drop off the migrants at the U.S. Capitol, but I think as close as they could get would be near Union Station.
They're being processed on the bus.
They're being processed. They're inside right now.
And here comes the charter bus from Texas, one of many that have arrived in New York City in recent days with immigrants, asylum seekers who've been sent to New York City for services, whatever we can provide for them.
We try to go speak to them, but there are people that are blocking us here, essentially volunteers, leaving the bus and going directly into the Port Authority where they will be processed.
And would fly people in the middle of the night, dump them all across this country. There was no warning on any of this. And all those people in D.C. and New York were beating their chests when Trump was president, saying they were so proud to be sanctuary jurisdictions, saying how bad it was to have a secure border. The minute even a small fraction of what those border towns deal with every day is brought to their front door, they all of a sudden go berserk, and they're so upset that this is happening. And it just shows you, their virtue signaling is a fraud, okay?
So, what are the most difficult challenges right now?
The difficult challenges are, at some point in time, they have to move from here to somewhere else, right? We don't have the services to take care of 50 immigrants, and we certainly don't have housing. We're in a housing crisis as we are on this island, and so we can't house everyone here that lives here and works here. We don't have housing for 50 more people.
But then last night happened, and we started to rethink our assumptions about the Obamas, about a lot of things. Because a plane load of highly diverse immigrants arrived on Martha's Vineyard to join the Obamas. But the Obamas didn't welcome them. There was not a word from Barack or Michelle Obama. Barack wasn't waiting at the airport to greet the diversifiers with flowers. He didn't issue a statement of congratulations. He didn't invite a single Venezuelan to his home. How come? Could it be that Barack Obama isn't really, actually, in real life, in favor of diversity at all? Could it be that Barack Obama strongly prefers blonde SoulCycle moms in Lululemon to sweaty third world campesinos in dirty work pants? Could it be? We can't say. But we can tell you that if you want to find out what people really think, go ahead and ignore what they say and watch how they live. And by that measure, the one that matters, Barack and Michelle Obama are every bit as bigoted as any board member at any restricted country club in the Deep South, assuming those still exist. Those people? They're not dating my daughter, I can tell you that. So in other words, we learned this week that Barack Obama really is a racist, and not in the way you've always assumed. Obama may hate white people, he certainly seems to, but he also demands to live around them, and only them. But the Obamas, to be fair, are not alone in this. His friends at the news networks in Washington, New York, and Los Angeles feel exactly the same way because they're exactly the same sort of people. CNN, for example, spent the day interviewing people connected in some way to Martha's Vineyard. Turns out that precisely none of them were excited about the plane load of Venezuelans. One of them, the state rep for the island, even blamed this show for the sudden blessed surge in diversity. Watch this.
Ron DeSantis and Republicans might want to play political games with people's lives. I believe that's incredibly inhumane to be using women and children and families as a political pawn that you can then talk about on Tucker Carlson and pretend to be tough on immigration.
Wow. So see if you can follow the argument here. When penniless illegal aliens show up in Brownsville, Texas, one of the poorest cities in the United States, they are noble strivers. They're looking for a better life in this country, and we applaud them. Good luck in Brownsville, newly arrived immigrants. But when these very same people jump the moat and get a free flight to Martha's Vineyard, it's something else entirely. It is, as the state rep just told you, quote, playing political games with people's lives. Because it's dangerous. These immigrants could wander into a clam bake by accident. Or worse, much worse.
Thank you, no. Thank you. We're okay. It's okay. We don't want any. Thank you, though. Okay, hey, here you go. Here you go. Thank you, but we're fine. We're just gonna take a little snooze-alito. Snooze, huh?